How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, the story I'm about to tell you is about HMP Woodhill. Now, a year or two ago, a few years ago, they was talking about bringing in these jihadi jails. A jihadi jail being a separation unit for Muslim extremists that could potentially radicalise prisoners in general population or on VP. Now, I was very critical of it. Not critical of it, I think it's needed, but I said in many an interview, even with a former Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, Peter Fahey, in an interview, I said the first thing these Muslim prisoners, these Muslim extremists, not all Muslims are extremists, I don't care what anybody says, there's good and bad in every society. Extremists are a very small number of, and they misinterpret and take literally what they read in the Quran. In my opinion, anyway. What do I know? I said that these prisoners, these extremists, they're going to cite their human rights to their legal teams and stuff and challenge it and bring judicial reviews against the prisons and stuff and against the prison service as a whole, because of their religious beliefs and stuff. Anyway, guys, I'm going to read the story. I'm very tired. I'm not really into doing these vlogs, but I'm doing them anyway, guys, because I'm going to be up all night anyway. Right, so let the story load. Right, so the headline reads, Woodhill Jail's Islamist unit still has no inmates. One of 3 jails within a jail created to hold the most dangerous Islamist prisoners has not housed any inmates amid claims that the prison service has grave doubts about the scheme. The separation unit at Woodhill Prison near Milton Keynes, Cat A prison, was ready to take extremist offenders in April. However, since then, insufficient prisoners have been assessed as requiring separation. The failure to move any offenders into Woodhill will fuel suspicions that the prison service is dragging its feet over filling the units. Last month, the Parliamentary Intelligence and Security Committee report quoted evidence from counter-terrorism police warning that centres could become academies of terror and that it was never a good thing to bring radicalised inmates together. It raised concerns that separation units could provide a networking opportunity for extremists. The centres are intended to hold offenders who pose the most significant risk of radicalisation of other prisoners, and were a key recommendation of an inquiry by Ian Akerson, commissioned in 2015 by Michael Gove when he was Justice Secretary. Mr. Akerson's report found complacency among jail managers over the growing problem of Islamist extremism in prisons. 2 of the units are operating at Full Sutton Prison near York, Cat A, and Franklin Prison in County Durham, Cat A. Mr. Akerson, a former prison governor, said, "We still, in my view, have a major problem with disordered prison system that is not able to robustly deal with all forms of extremism, of which Islamist extremism is the biggest threat. My review found the prison service leadership team that did not want to be told when it needed to do to counter it. I am not surprised that corporately the prison service has not wanted to confront this. I identified an extreme reluctance to tackle Islamist extremism. While the service excels at virtue signalling on progressive issues, it has no stomach for dealing with the subversion of national security. This, the failure to open to Woodhill, is just another example of an unforgivable squeamishness. There were an estimated 300 identified extremist prisoners, including 200 held for offences including terrorism. Of those, 180 are in jail for offences linked to Islamic and Islamist ideologies, easy for me to say, and 28 for extreme far-right wing views. The Ministry of Justice say the separation unit HMP Franklin and HMP Full Sutton are being used to hold a number of offenders and will continue to keep under review the need to open a 3rd at Woodhill. Whitehall source said it had always been the intention to fill the centre slowly and only after there'd been placed a full assessment of any individual recommended to be placed in one. Now, how much do you think is this down to political correctness? Where if you assess someone and say you are an extremist, you have extremist ideologies, you are at danger of radicalising other prisoners. We live in a democracy, guys, and under freedom of speech, people say and do what they want, don't they, for the most part? Supposed to be within the confines of the law. Some people go over that mark, don't they? I am surprised that there's no inmates in. So they're saying that there's 300. These units are going to be small. Now, I used to say to them, one of my arguments was that the chapel, like for like, say it's a Muslim, like say it's prayer or namaz is Muslim prayers, or Jummah, the Friday prayer, the big prayer on a Friday afternoon. I said that there's only one chapel within the prison, so they'll all come, even though you're separating them, they're still going to come together with other prisoners for namaz and Jummah. And they said, no, we're going to make it so there's a chapel within the actual extremism wing, or the jihadi jails, or the wing, a jail within a jail, as they call it. I think that they're scared of being deemed racists. I genuinely do believe that. And like I say, you can't. And the first thing that people are going to say on that comment is Islam isn't a race, it's a religion. And I understand that. And like I say, I know black men that have converted to Islam. I know white men that have converted to Islam. And I've met Muslims that that pray and stuff 5 times a day. And I've been in prison with drug dealers that are Muslim. It comes in every different walk of life and stuff. And like I say, I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, all Muslims are extremists and everything else. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. I've been in prison with a lot of Muslims and stuff. I get on with anybody. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And yeah, we've got good and bad in every society, right? A lot of Muslims despise extremists and what they do. I think that they take literally what they read in the Quran, these extremists and stuff. But yeah, not all Muslims are extremists, do you know what I mean? And Muslim extremists are a very small number. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world, but you can't paint everyone with the same brush. I don't care what creed, colour, religion you are, do you know what I mean, gender, sexual orientation, it doesn't bother me. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Simple. These units, guys, I understand the need for them, 1,000,000%, but the first argument I said is, if I was a Muslim extremist and I was placed into one of these separation units, I'm on the phone to my lawyer, I'm writing letters to my solicitor, I'm citing my human rights, I'm citing my legal human rights, and I'm telling them to pull a judicial review of the prison. Some people could say it's religious discrimination. They could, very much easily so. I'm very interested to know from you guys. You guys are very opinionated and stuff like that. What do you think about this story? We've got Muslim inmates, former Muslim inmates. We've got Christians, we've got people that can't stand Muslims, we've got people that can't stand extremists, we've got probably people that can't stand white people, I don't know. Very, very subjective. It's social media, isn't it? It's a platform. I read the story, I give a little overview. I'm not right, I'm not wrong, it's just my opinion. You might agree, you might disagree. I personally think that they're dragging their feet because they don't want to be deemed not racist, because that's, people say racism, but they're using the wrong context, because Islam isn't a religion, it's a ideology and it's a religion. So people could say it's racial discrimination. Some people could say it's religious discrimination. What do you think? Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.